Welcome back. What a glorious start to the morning in Southwold in Suffolk. Laura will bring you the full weather forecast very soon.
Gorgeous Southwold, love it there. Now then, the Mail's Andrew Pearce and the Mirror's Kevin Maguire still with us, and also joining us is a guy who has defied the odds. Kenton Cool, very aptly named, was told that he would never walk again after an accident shattered both heel bones 25 years ago in a fall. But on Saturday, he claimed the record for the most ascents of Mount Everest by a foreigner after standing on the summit of the world's tallest mountain for the 16th time. And he joins us now from basecamp, which is itself extremely high. You can still get altitude sickness there. Kenton, I mean, just first of all, congratulations. But the obvious question, why? I mean, why 16 times?
Because it's there.
Because it's there. That's what Madeley said back in 1924. But for me, it's perhaps slightly different in so much that my profession is a mountain guide, and I found a niche on Everest. And I would professionally guide people to the top of the mountain every single year. In the past, I've worked with the likes of Ben Fogle, Sir Ranulph Fiennes, guiding them expertly to the top and back down again. And I love the mountain, I love the country, I love the people, but it is also work for me. So that's one of the reasons why it's been 16 times.
Oh, and as Richard mentioned, Kenton, in the introduction, there was a point where this might have seemed impossible to you, because back in 1996, you were told you would never walk again unaided after shattering both heel bones in a rock climbing accident when you fell off a cliff face in North Wales. How did you manage to get from there to where you are this morning?
Well, I'm just looking at the image of me in a wheelchair there. It seems like a very long time ago. And it's a bit of a cliche, but I believe that if you have the determination and passion, because climbing is my passion, put the two together, then almost anything is possible. And then above that, there's a community within climbing and mountaineering, and I was very much part of that community. So if you took climbing away from me, I would have no real meaning to what I did. So I got to say thank you to the NHS for all those years ago for the hard work of getting me back onto my feet, and then from there it was drive, and here I am today. Just listening to a helicopter come into base camp.
Okay,
but yeah, passion, drive, determination, and a big thank you to the NHS all those years ago.
Kenton, I was telling Susanna before the programme that in another life, many, many years ago, I had a brother-in-law who was a very, very keen and very good mountaineer. In fact, he led an expedition that conquered K2. I think he climbed K2 twice. I was very fond of him. But what I remember about him and his mountaineering, and I want to put this to you, was that he was, I would say, borderline obsessive about it. And he once said to me that you kind of had to be in order to get the job done. Would you use that word about yourself, that to some extent you're obsessed with climbing, and in particular, climbing Everest?
Yeah, I mean, potentially. I mean, climbing is quite a selfish sport. I mean, you don't get particularly rich through doing it. It's very self-absorbed. You're not in a big team like you would be football or hockey or things like that. So there is a certain amount of selfishness that goes with climbing. At the same time, I find it incredibly liberating and uplifting. I mean, look where I am right now. I'm Everest Base Camp. I'm surrounded by lofty peaks. I'm working with my Sherpa team, who are very, very grounded and who make this all possible. So, it's a strange sport, mountaineering. And I quote Ernest Hemingway, who once said that there are only 3 sports in the world, and they are bullfighting, motor racing, and mountaineering. The rest are merely games. So with mountaineering comes a modicum of danger. And, if you are I've got a young family, and if I come out here looking to climb these lofty peaks, then there is a sense of self-absorption, perhaps, that goes with it.
That's a very interesting quote from Hemingway. And it is dangerous, and people do die on Everest.
311 people have
311 have lost their lives trying to get up or trying to get down again. Obviously, you pick your moments to assault the mountain very carefully. The weather has to be pretty much perfect, doesn't it?
It does, and I think you've got to be careful with terminology as well. Because as soon as you start using terminology like assaulted or conquered or crushed or smashed, then generally you're potentially making the wrong decisions. Sagarmatha, Mother Goddess of the Earth, which sits behind me, commonly known as Mount Everest, she is a dangerous mountain. The top's well in the death zone, which is a dangerous place to be. So we have to be very, very particular about how the team are faring, what the weather forecast is like. And we pay particular attention to these points before we start making our way up the mountain. It's quite a technical sort of achievement when it all comes together and it goes right. And this season, touch wood, it's been particularly good. There's only been, I believe, 1 or possibly 2 accidents on the mountain this year. So it looks like it's going to be very high success rates to get it to the top and very low fatality rates.
And very, very quickly, I mean, you've done it 16 times. You'll probably do it more. Do you still get that sense of awareness when you're standing right at the top there that you are at the world's highest point? There's nowhere else on the planet, unless it's space, where human beings can stand and be that high.
Well, to put it into context this year, Richard, we got to the top about 4:25 in the morning, just as the sun reached the horizon in Chinese Tibet. And it was one of the most sensational sunrises I have ever seen. The light was simply amazing. And for people say to me, do you not get bored of it? Do you not want to go climb other mountains? Well, the simple answer is I do climb other mountains. I've climbed K2. I'm an alpine guide. I work in Europe. But there is something magical about Everest. And this year, with the light, the sunrise, getting my client to the top successfully, it all came together for a very special moment.
Well, huge congratulations to you, Kenton. You were there alongside British fitness entrepreneur Rebecca Louise, who completed the climb for the first time. And I'm sure you would want to pay tribute as well to your support team, because while you have achieved a record, there are, of course, those Nepalese climbers who also do this as a job. And Kami Rita Sherpa is a Nepalese climber who has scaled Everest 26 times. 10 other Sherpas have climbed it at least 16 or more times. I mean, couldn't do it without them, really.
Absolutely not. And to say there's 10 or more, there's numerous Sherpas who've climbed it more times than me. My number 1 Sherpa, Dorji Gelgin, he was alongside me this year. He's summited it 20 times now. We had another Sherpa with us, also called Kami Rita, a different Kami Rita. He's climbed it 20 times. The Sherpas are the backbone of commercialism out here in the Himalayas. They are the unsung heroes of this mountain and lots of other mountains for that matter. Without them, I'm looking across basecamp now. Basecamp's almost a mile long this year. There's 320 people paying to climb Everest. None of them would climb it without the hard work, the diligence, and the friendship that comes from the Sherpa people. They are quite remarkable.
As are you, Kenton. Many congratulations on a very fine achievement. Marvellous stuff. And it looks wonderful there this morning.
Stunning image. Yeah. Kenton, cool. Congratulations. Thanks very much indeed. Kevin, you've been to Everest?
Well, I've been at base camp, which is 18